Hello the cop, please subscribe my channel for follow Liverpool Football Club news on every days. Dominik Szoboszlai makes sad Liverpool admission after being surprised by Jurgen Klopp. Liverpool new boy Dominik Szoboszlai admits he has felt lonely at times since moving to England from RB Leipzig in a £60 million deal during the summer transfer window. Dominik Szoboszlai admits he's felt lonely since moving to England despite his impressive start to life at Liverpool. Szoboszlai, 23, joined the Reds from RB Leipzig in a £60 million deal as part of the club's midfield overhaul in the summer. The Hungary captain has made an instant impact at Anfield, racking up 4 goal contributions in 14 games and earning comparisons with club legend Steven Gerrard. The midfield maestro has also earned plenty of plaudits from pundits and boss Jurgen Klopp, but the Liverpool new boy has felt alone at times as he continues to adapt to a new way of life in a new country. Speaking about his early weeks at Liverpool, Szoboszlai admitted to being lonely during an interview with Hungarian podcast Premier League. He said, "I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel lonely sometimes. There are days when I'm just sitting on the couch wondering about what to do. Then I put on a movie and try to fall asleep, hoping for tomorrow." Szoboszlai has been an ever-present for Liverpool this season and has played a starring role in the Reds' new-look engine room in the number 8 role, a position he had little experience of prior to his summer switch. Speaking back in September, Klopp outlined that Szoboszlai had been surprised by how well suited he was to his new role. He said, "I don't think he played the position he plays for us at Leipzig. He played on the wing, as a number 10 more inside, but with us he's played, as an 8, a 6, a double 6 as well, so it is really interesting to watch how quickly he adapts and develops. That is really good. We have things to still find out and the signs are really positive. We knew about him, he played for Salzburg against us, and for Leipzig too. We knew he has an incredible skill with his shooting, and that is now obvious. It is not that you look too much, but it is clear we were looking for an 8 and names came up. Watching the videos it was pretty impressive, super impressive. But Leipzig play a 4-2-2-2 very offensive lineup, so we start learning about him. I don't think he saw himself involved so much build-up, deeper positions, but he is good on the ball and that is why we try it." Luis Diaz's Liverpool return latest as kidnappers confirm they are releasing his father. Luis Diaz's father was kidnapped by armed gunmen in his hometown of Barrancas in Colombia last weekend, but a statement has now been shared confirming he is to be released. It has been confirmed that Luis Diaz's father will be released imminently after he was kidnapped by armed gunmen last weekend. Diaz's father, Luis Manuel Diaz, and his mother were both seized by the rebel National Liberation Army, ELN, group. His mother, Silenis Marulanda, was rescued by police but his father has been held captive since. It was outlined on Friday evening by a representative of the group that Diaz Sr. would be freed as soon as possible. And just hours later, the group have released a statement confirming his imminent release. "We salute Colombia and the Caribbean," the group said in a statement released to El Colombiano. "We are in solidarity with the families who experience pain and tragedies due to unemployment, the criminal violence of paramilitarism and the abandonment of the state. The corruption of political clans is the main threat to the stability of the region. The Northern War Front has commands with economic missions and one of them carries out a privation of freedom, which, after being reported and verified that it is the priest of Lucho Diaz, is guided by his release because he is a family member of the great sportsman that we all love as Colombians. From that moment on, the release process begins and we want to avoid any incident. Firm in the search for the paths of peace, with the necessary transformations that the country needs." From the Caribbean. The Colombian government intervened in a bid to free Diaz's father this week by negotiating with ELN. Liverpool star Diaz, who missed the Reds' win over Nottingham Forest last weekend due to the incident, had been kept abreast of developments in England throughout the week. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp had outlined in his pre-match press conference that Diaz could feature in Sunday's fixture against Premier League strugglers Luton Town after participating in training this week. He was pictured alongside his teammates on Friday. Klopp told reporters, "He was in training 2 days ago, he had a session on Friday, with the squad, and will be part of the team. We must wait, if he feels right he will be here and train with us. The session he had with us, you could see that when he is with the boys it is fine, it's okay. But you could see as well that he didn't sleep a lot. So we will wait, it's all about him, whether he makes himself available or not, and I will not force anything." Ross Barkley's comments about Liverpool that sparked backlash among Reds fans. Ross Barkley, an Everton Academy graduate, will take on Liverpool with Luton this weekend and previously rattled the Reds faithful after scoring against them whilst at Chelsea. Ross Barkley will come up against Liverpool this weekend when the Reds travel to Luton Town. Those from Merseyside have enjoyed mixed fortunes at Kenilworth Road, drawing on their last visit after coming back from 3-1 down to win 5-3 in an FA Cup Classic that saw Xabi Alonso score from his own half. Barkley would take a goal of any type against Everton's arch-rivals this weekend. The former Toffee came through the ranks at Goodison Park before moving on to pastures new. The Merseyside rivalry still runs deep though, and Barkley achieved a career goal when he scored against Liverpool while playing for Chelsea back in 2020. His effort at Stamford Bridge knocked Jurgen Klopp's side out of the FA Cup as the Blues ran out 2-0 winners. The midfielder declared afterwards, "Scoring against Liverpool for me is massive, supporting Everton and playing for Everton it is always a dream to score against Liverpool." The response earned him plenty of stick from those in red who came for him on social media. Many pointed to the fact he'd scored for Chelsea after leaving Everton as his contract winding down. He opted against extending his stay and chose to move to West London. It was Antonio Conte who signed him, but later he played under Maurizio Sarri and Thomas Tuchel without ever fully establishing himself as a guaranteed starter. An England career began in 2013 but has since tailed off, with his last 3 Lions cap coming in 2019. Barkley was handed a loan spell to Aston Villa in an effort to rediscover his best form, and weeks into his switch found himself repeating the moment he once hailed as a dream. Dean Smith's side hosted then-champions Liverpool during the lockdown season and produced one of that year's freak results. Villa hammered the Reds 7-2 with Barkley getting in on the act. His deflected effort flew past Adrian and the midfielder reeled away in celebration. His nomadic career continued after his spell in the Midlands, which failed to yield the results he and those around him hoped. Barkley returned to Chelsea for another season of sporadic use before Nice became his 3rd club in 3 years. The French club, owned by British billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe, took a punt on the playmaker, but he failed to live up to expectations. Barkley endured some horror ratings in L'Equipe and was left out of the team's Europa League squad as his minutes dropped off. He was released after just 12 months at the Allianz Riviera and found himself on the lookout for a club once more. He surprised many when he chose to head to the newly promoted side, who plenty had already tipped for relegation, such as their lack of resources compared to their Premier League rivals. Hatters boss Rob Edwards believed the former Everton man's arrival would give them an X-factor, while Barkley himself had been inspired by their rags-to-riches story that had seen them rise from the National League to the Premier League in less than 10 years. Why Luton? Going from the Conference to the Premier League is a great story, and for me personally to be back in the Premier League, it's great motivation, he said. I'm still relatively young and over the last couple of years I've not played as much as I'd have liked, but I've reserved a lot of energy and looked after myself, so it's great to be here now as I've got a lot to show, but I'm ready and feeling motivated. Luton's only win this term has come at the ground Barkley once called home, albeit he was absent for the success at Everton. He's made 5 appearances thus far, 3 of those coming as a starter. He's not found the net as of yet, with his last goal on English soil coming against Watford for Chelsea in May 2022. Hello the Cop, please subscribe my channel for follow Liverpool Football Club news on every days.